Hello, everyone. How is it going today? Happy Friday. No, it's not Friday. Happy Wednesday. Ooh. So we have bags 20 and 21 to do, and I'm now just getting paranoid that my chat isn't working. Let me just test. I'm paranoid because it hasn't worked in. Oh, no, it's working. There we go. All right. Good. Didn't seem that long since someone had said something, but apparently it had been. I should probably change the timing on that to stay up longer. So here's what we got so far. We have bags 20 and 21 to do next. There's our drive section, the saucer section beginning to get underway. But we are going to put that to the side for the moment. Get bags 20 and 21 out, because I do believe that we are going to be doing some duplication of stuff. Don't do that, Adobe. Jeez. Howdy, Bahamut and Anghamarand. Thank you very much for that subscription, Anghamarand. I really do appreciate it. All right. Just go ahead and roll my sleeves up. 200 bits for LEGO stream. Yay! And we should be finishing this one up tonight. I do expect to finish this one up tonight. Also, so these basically should be duplicated. They might not be quite duplicated, I don't know. But this one has a plastic bag in it. This one has a paper bag in it. It's a little on the weird side. Howdy, Lord Canis. How's it going? Shouldn't we? Carrie can't hear you teleporting. Carrie's great. I really, really enjoy her in Iodine Chronicle. I mean, she's not Vicky, but for a not Vicky, they've done a good job. And Clouth Warthog gifting out some subs. Thank you very much. That is very generous. I appreciate it, everyone. All right, did we get all the parts out? We did get all the parts out. There we go. Check that on the floor. Now imagine Carrie as the Enterprise Transporter Officer. She would definitely make an interesting Transporter Chief. I'd be down for it. I'd be down for it. Let's see, 1, 4. 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Definitely a Lower Decks style Transporter Chief. I should really watch Lower Decks at some point. You gave last week, so I appreciate that, Bahamut. Or maybe it was Monday. I don't remember. It was a recent day. And that's the important thing. No, I'm aware, and from everything I've heard, it's very, very, like, unlike, say, the Picard series, it's done with love for the original series, like the past productions, shall we say. Holiday bits, 100 holiday bits, yay! Thank you very much. Howdy, Kinshir, how's it going? Hype trains are fun, that's true, they are. It's the thought that counts, though. These are very high stacks of side stud bits. Finishing dinner. Sounds pretty neat. Just happy that you're free from ad jail again. I got a YouTube survey that allowed me to say some things. It was nice to get some of that off my chest. Let's see, right there. I mean, one of the things that I do feel like we should be able to, like, creators should be able to control is, like, the ad length. If I put an ad break in, I don't want someone being stuck with a 30-minute ad kind of thing. And Anghamran is gifted 3 months of Tier 1 to Not a Rogue AI and 90 gift subs in the channel. Wow, thank you very much. Today was tiresome contemplating sleep. Well, you can't sleep until after the Enterprise is done. I didn't get much sleep last night, myself. Cheese and crackers. What kind of cheese and crackers? Once had an ad on YouTube, on a YouTube video that was over an hour long. Yeah, see, like, that's the ridiculous thing. And I think I understand why they do that to a certain degree of, like, is the person actually watching? You know, if the person doesn't, you know, skip that, then chances are they're not actively watching. I guess I can understand that, but at the same time, it's a pretty shoddy way of doing it. Pepperjack, Colby, cheddar, and Swiss. Oh, do you have like one of those charcuterie platters or something? A cheese spread, but not a cheese spread of cheese spreads. Cheese platter, yes. But you don't have any like salami or prosciutto in there? You can get all into a World of Darkness game. I probably wouldn't get into a World of Darkness game. It's not my type of fantasy. I don't have anything against it, but it's not the kind of thing that I have much of an imagination for. And it doesn't do much for me. I like my high fantasy dragons and stuff. I'm not against it, it's just not for me. Like, I want to be clear. If other people are enjoying it, it doesn't bother me one bit. Whereas, if I were against it, I think it would bother me. But no, I do like high fantasy is my favorite thing. I don't even really get into science fiction role-playing. It's not really my thing either. Really, it's just more of like I don't really have the like suspension of disbelief for that kind of thing. I've done Shadowrun. Shadowrun's a little bit more of something that I can get into, but even then, not that much. Just not really my thing. It's either fantasy or a filler punk for you. there we go. Now let's make the other side. And I got a hype chest. Let's see what I get. Ghosty! That is an adorable ghosty. They look like small fighter drone craft. Yeah, it's fun how often you can get fun little fighter type constructions out of the bits that you're making. Hey, bragging rights are important. It's one of the reasons why I tend to get achievements in the games that in a lot of the games that I LP. I mean, it's not really like, I'm not gonna really brag too much, but it's like, it's nice to have. One of those, I'm playing it, I might as well try for it kind of thing, right? Okay, alright, flip them over. Something you've wanted to do since you were a little kid? Hey, yeah, go for it. Live the dream. Live the dream. I mean, like, if you know that it's going to be railroady, it's not too bad. If you're on board for railroady, there's nothing wrong with that. It's when you want to do A, but you're forced to do B, that it becomes a problem. Alright, let me get the top off. Alright, we are putting this in here. Okay. Oops. Get that on there. Get that on there. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and slide this back on, because we've got other constructions to do now. Okay, and 3 white log bricks. Lots of side stud bricks. There we go. All right. You feel Shadowrun is more railroady? Yeah, I mean, I haven't played Shadowrun in forever. Since the 90s. I believe it was 2nd edition Shadowrun that I played. Pretty sure that's what I played. And I know that they're on a much later edition now. Get stuff ready for the run, do run, rinse, repeat. Well, I mean, that's kind of what you're doing, but the run is the adventure. I mean, it's kind of like saying, you know, it's railroady to do an adventure. I guess the nature of the game, like the RPG, that mostly what you're doing is basically mercenary work, kind of thing. I get, but at the same time, like, there's ample opportunity to, you know, for like your characters while doing runs to start getting information about, you know, like some sort of conspiracy or bigger threat going on or something like that. Like if I were going to GM a Shadowrun game, that's basically what I would be doing. Is like you're doing the runs and you're going to start getting hints that there are other things afoot, kind of thing, you know? I feel like it's a bit of a missing the point if you're not getting that, you know, deeper conspiracy thing going on, because that's kind of the nature of the fiction that it's all based on, right? And the runs are kind of there to give you the cash to start getting ready to be able to do your, you know, to do your investigations into these other deeper mysteries. You never knew that Shadowrun was a tabletop game? Oh, wow. Yeah. Very different from the actual console versions. Well, I guess on the there is a computer game version now. Like, if you think about it, Johnny Mnemonic starts out as a character doing a run. And then the run goes haywire. And then he has to, you know, figure out what's going on. While, you know, staying alive, figuring out what's going on, that kind of thing. Your character does not T-pose anywhere near as majestically on the cyberspace and on the tabletop as they do on the Sega Genesis version. Yeah, sadly, it is a lot harder to be a PDF airplane in the tabletop version. On the other hand, you know, you could pose yourself while doing it. Howdy, Duke Darkwood, how's it going? Okay. Another pair of these. But yeah, I mean, if you're just doing runs in Shadowrun, it seems kind of missing the point. You have 2 Shadowrun novels, and that's the only Shadowrun you're aware of? You're not aware of the Genesis and SNES games? Yep, we're on the saucer section. Huh. Well, now you know. Alright, so we have one of these going in here. Now this looks like it could be some sort of airplane right now, you know? Yeah, I've played the SNES version. Specifically, I streamed it for Retro once. See the place where the plaque goes? Yep. I decided not to put the sticker on. Okay, there we go. Why no sticker? Because it's spelled wrong. And I haven't ordered the new one. So I figured, why put it on if I'm just going to, like, pull it off again? Put the correct one on. To boldly go, indeed. I too like to boldly go. I boldly go to many places. Stickers get no love from me. I would rather have prints or plain. There we go. I mean, I get why, you know, it is more expensive to print all the time and everything like that. And certainly there are some things where you'll get more vibrant colors out of the print, out of the sticker than the print. So I do get that. But like, if I actually want to keep something, I would rather it be printed. If I don't want to keep something, I would rather it be a sticker. It's as simple as that. There we go. I do really like these new slopes that we've got. They're pretty nice. Would love if they showed up in Pick-a-Brick at some point. Kinda doubt they will, though. I don't know why. I like any slopes that I can basically get a smooth slope out of, and these allow it. Okay, grab these. So I thought I was going to be busy tonight, because I said something last Wednesday, I think, that this stream might not be going on, but it actually turns out to be Thursday night that things are happening. So luckily, that means Lego for you guys. Now, I'm not sure about Christmas Eve right now. That might be off the table. Need to get a feel for how things are happening with family before I know for sure. Lately, you've been introduced to a weird French point-and-click adventure game called Salambo, A Battle for Carthage, apparently based on an old French comic. Huh. It's also surreal in French, so many layers of French. Might need to read an 1862 French novel to try and make sense of what you've seen in the last 2 days. Do you really think that'll work, though? I don't know. Making sense of a French novel does not seem that likely. See. Okay, yep, that is going. Well, New Year's Eve is a Wednesday. Where's my mouse cursor? So I will be streaming New Year's Eve. I'm not doing anything New Year's Eve other than that. Like, I don't have anything that's coming up. So I will be streaming New Year's Eve. Go. Are the French sensible? Well, they have dramatically cut down on pollution in Paris by banning cars from the inner city. So yeah, I would say that in a lot of ways they are. Heck of a lot more than we're doing these days, that's for sure. Okay, so that doesn't go there. Will I be streaming until midnight? I don't know. It depends on what I decide. I haven't decided on that yet. All right, I can more easily see what's going on. Oh, yep, alright. I see what's going on there. There we go. And this is definitely one of the more interesting and to a certain extent difficult. Like, I don't really consider most Lego building to be difficult, but getting these things on, figuring out exactly where they're turned and putting them on appropriately, I would consider that difficult, so. Definitely not a design for everyone, a build for everyone. Okay, so flipping it over. Alright, 4 of these. Hold on, did I... Oh, yep. Hold on. I did miss a few. Or 4 of these, not just the 2. There we go. So, funny thing that I learned recently, the origin of flipping the bird comes from basically like giving people the big bird, meaning goose, because it's a big bird. And it's related to it being an aggressive, hissing animal. So that's fun. Any special set for New Year's Eve? I haven't decided what I'll build yet, so I don't know. I will definitely try to think of something. I did order this year's Lego employee set because I really liked the look of it. Gives all the big bird. Now he has to figure out what to do with a 40-pound frozen goose. It's a heavy goose. It's a heavy bird. A Lego ball so you can drop it at midnight. Yeah, but then it would break. I don't want it to break. Okay, get all of these on. There we go. Howdy, Chromie Sweet. How's it going? Alright, spare parts. 1 gray 1x1 plate. One of the bags had that. Okay. Bag number 22. Go ahead and set this aside for just a moment. They need a New Year's Eve Technic set with a Times Square ball. They may not do that just because it's so American. I don't know. Other than Chinese New Year, they haven't really done anything very New Year's. But yeah, I ordered this year's Lego employee gift set specifically because it is a modular city set. And I want the modular city sets. Okay. Bring this back, and that goes right on here. Okay. 2, I need 8 of these. Man, if this set ever goes on sale, I will seriously consider getting a second one. Last week you got an early Christmas gift of a sinus cold. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Okay. This right on there. So this is why I just avoid people. I don't have to worry about sinus colds and stuff. Alright, sticker time. 2 gray 4x4 tiles. NCC-1701. Alright. Get that there. And NCC-1701-D. There we go. Okay. 177 NCC-1701-D. There we go. Now some plates. Get you on there. Get you on there. And some tiles. Saw today Tic Tac mints, naughty or nice coal mints. Like, were they just like black? Or what? No bloody A, B, C, or D. Yes. I don't have a good Scotty. Unfortunately. Okay. There were little black mints, you didn't try them to see the flavor? Well, I would assume mint. Alright, where are... There's one. Another 2x2 corner is right there. Yeah, that particular episode, while not a great episode, it's just a nice love letter episode kind of thing. There we go, half tiles. And now 1x1 tiles. Peppermint, spearmint, or wintermint? Well, obviously it's peppermint because it's black. Get it? Get it? Get it? I think you do get it. Alright, there we go. All those tiles on. Groans and facepalms so hard it can be heard in the DC area. Oh, that's gotta hurt. You should probably not do that, Bahamut. Seems painful. Okay, get those on there. Where did that thunder come from? Scotty, you always remember that interview in Trekkies or something documentary about Jimmy getting that one fan to keep coming to conventions and helping her brave through her depression? Oh, is that... Who are you talking about, Jimmy? Oh. So James Doohan got a fan to keep coming to conventions? Oh, the fan, to help the fan get through the depression. Okay, no, okay, sorry, I was a little confused. I understand it now. Yeah, he seemed like a really nice guy. Sorry, I've never heard anyone refer to him as Jimmy before. It's one reason why I tend to refer to people by their last name in those kinds of positions. Now it looks like some sort of space shoot-'em-up boss. He would hang out with fans after conventions would finish. It's pretty awesome. Alright, let's see. Next up. Get these tiles in. I really like this this angle, getting these angles in here like that. It's really nice. With the red eye weak point. There we go. Playing Minecraft earlier, been turning dirt to mud in Minecraft, complaining about how there needs to be a Minecraft mud crafting recipe. Something that you could just, like, do a lot of all at once, right? Like a stackable thing, using stackable ingredients. Okay, and we get a clip right in there. Some macaroni on here. I mean, it might happen. It is pretty silly if there isn't a stackable recipe. Like, I mean, if it's something that you'd want a lot of, there should always be a stackable recipe. So you can just make dozens of the item. There we go, and 1x1 plate. 1x1 plate. And more macaroni. There we go. Okay. So, spare parts. Tan 1x1 tile and a dark gray 1x2 half-cylinder tile. Now it annoys you that the smaller cylinder is off center of the... Yeah. But I don't think they'd do that if it wasn't intentional. You could probably go look at the actual schematics and see that there is a bit more space here than here. Alright. Bag number 23. Let's go ahead and put this to the side for the moment. Captain Jean-Luc Picard always prefers his beverage to be tea, Earl Grey, hot. Exactly what temperature does he like? Who knows? He just wants it hot. Actually, let's go ahead and put that over there. Legs. Torso. Computer knows his preferences, but we don't. Well, you could probably look at some pictures online, is also what I mean. It's true, just checked images, but also the larger oval is a bit pinched towards the forend. Something you don't think Lego pieces could manage at this particular scale? No, not really. Let's get it in the other hand. Kind of looks more like hot chocolate, or actually coffee, if you ask me. Let's go ahead and zoom on in. There's Jean-Luc Picard. With his tea. Look, it doesn't come out. I do really like these dual molded cups. These are really nice. And they're also cool because you can actually stick things inside that top part. Why does the instruction booklet make it look like he has something on his head? Because he's got a stud. Stud? I mean, it's the captain. He is a stud. I mean... There we go. Sadly, making bald characters in LEGO is a little bit of a... They don't really stand out that much. Other than by their actual lack of a... you know, a hairpiece. So we do have a gray shield here. This is going to go on the bottom, that part that we just made. But it's nice that it's a plain gray shield. And an oval one, too. But we are working on this side. And I should... Oops. We're going to need those. 6x6 tile. Oh, hey, it's printed. USS Enterprise, NCC-1701-D. Neat. Let's go ahead and pause that. Snooze that. Add. What is the bottom? This is the bottom. There's a large shuttle bay here. That's the top. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and do these, I think. Oh, apparently I grabbed one too many. There we go. There is a stand. It's with the drive unit, which we've finished. Okay, now these two. One by 8. There isn't a separate stand for the saucer section, though. Okay, now we get our nameplate on there. I really want some support there. How weird is it that the Bad Robot Trek movies had the Enil not go into atmosphere, but also hide underwater? I have no idea what you're talking about. The stand for the saucer section is the star drive section? Well, yes. I mean a separate stand, so if you wanted to display them separated. Given how this is built, I don't know that it would be very easy to build a stand for it, though. To be fair. Okay, let's actually not do that yet. Let's get this and that. There we go. Alright. This makes it easy to define where we are working here. J.J. Abrams admitted not really having a plan for Star Wars sequels. I'm shocked. Shocked. Who could have guessed? Who could have guessed? Oh, besides everyone who watched them. I'm not a fan of them. I think they did a decent job casting most of the characters, but I don't think they understood. I don't think they understood most of the characters. Yeah, anything that relies on rule of cool generally, in my opinion, sucks. Part of it is, I'll be honest, I don't like I don't like basically retcons and reboots for the most part. Unless they're rebooting something that's already bad, or retconning something that's already bad. You know where your TTRPG playstyle sits with me then? I mean, like, there's some, like, Rule of Cool can be fine as an element. If it's occasional. But it's like, if everything is Rule of Cool, then nothing is actually cool. If that makes sense. Oh, no wonder. These are over here. Things Blow Up is not a genre of film, much as Michael Bay wants it to be. Kind of like his movie The Island, which is just parts the Clonus horror, but with explosions. Or I should say more explosions. Michael Bay disagree, yeah. Howdy, Iagra, how's it going? And I kind of like when like, I tend to like it more when things are not unintentionally cool per se, but when it's like coincidentally cool, if that makes sense. The coolest things are cool when they're not trying to be cool. And yet they're cool. You know? Put a video of the Enterprise rising out of the sea into darkness and video. Okay. Oh, that's what you were talking about. I wasn't sure what you were even talking about in the first place. Pretty sure I haven't seen that particular movie. I think I've only seen the first one. You're reminded of the line from Last Action Hero where Danny says it won't be a bomb because this movie already had too many explosions. I can't believe Last Action Hero didn't do well when it came out, honestly. The first Bad Robot Trek? Yes. Yeah. And basically it says, oh, by the way, all of that Trek that you love, that you've loved for so long, that you've been watching probably for years, decades, maybe even longer than the creator of this particular Trek has been alive. Yeah, that's all dustbin now. I have a hard time caring about anything after that point. If the rest of Star Trek was crap, then yeah, I'd be like, okay, whatever. It's fine with me. But when most of the rest of the Star Trek is good, I kind of don't want to see it all blown to hell. And we do have an ad just about to start. That's true. It was against stuff like Jurassic Park. Yeah, sometimes it's just like, you know, you have a great movie, but it's just in a bad release period kind of thing. Reminded of a Star Trek meme about that scene where Scotty said, well, we had to hide from the pre-warp civilization. Kirk said they could do that by staying in space. That's true, Kinshir. That is true. And there's sci-fi where that works. And then there's sci-fi where it doesn't. And it doesn't work in Star Trek. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Okay, there we go. This is the bridge that we're building right here. There we go. All right. Let's get the rest of these pieces over here. All right, we're gonna make the cover for the bay. Right, that's the mold mark right there. So we have the closed shuttle bay. Pop it open. You could probably pull these off to have the shuttle bay actually open. I'm not sure if they ever actually showed this particular shuttle bay. Apparently we want to flip this over and do this part first. The oval shield marks the location of the captain's yacht, which was never used in the series. Kind of sad about that, you know? Okay. We want to turn it this way. And that is that way. All right. To give it the impression of it being recessed. This is the last sticker. Yeah, it was. I don't think you ever got to see the inside of it, though, is what I mean. Yeah. That is not very straight, unfortunately. But there we go. Okay. Flip it back over. Two half bushings. A Type 15 shuttle pod hides the safety pin for the primary hull saucer section. Okay. So before we put that on, the spare parts are a half bushing in gray and a gray 1x2 half cylinder tile. Okay, that is all done. Put this to the side temporarily. Pulling that out. Put it in, slide it down. And there we go. I actually don't want to put it all the way down. There we go. Still haven't put the saucer on the star drive yet? You're waiting on the replacement sticker? I mean, it's easy enough to pull apart. Alright, let me check to see... Yeah, it's probably going to be easiest to not put this on yet. So let's go ahead and take that out. Put that on there, just so we don't lose it. Little shuttle pad guiding the star drive section. Howdy, Green King Dog. How's it going? And let's put you aside for the moment. Accidentally knocks a chunk off. Who would have thought that this would have been fragile? We can definitely get that within the year, right, Bahamut? Have a little Lego building to watch while you grind away. You can get that before bed. Put all those aside. I don't think we've seen... have not seen too many other colors of this part besides the, like, I think black and various grays. You have a rumbly on your tumbly, Kinshir? Alright. So grab one of those. Wrong angle, right angle, right angle. There we go. Heresy all doesn't use the intended tear here slit. I know. It's because it sheds. Like a kitty. I don't want it to shed. We're doing 2 of these? No, we are not. We are not doing 2 of these. Okay. Do. Okay, right there. All should be internationally sanctioned and banned from LEGO. Wow, you don't want to watch me anymore? That's so mean. That's so mean. Hate to break it to you guys, but there's something else that I'm heretical about, too. I eat my pizza with a knife and fork. You'd miss watching? I do appreciate that. Thank you. I'd miss building. He's just a hater. David Hater? I mean, people might not have heard. Alright, I want to see exactly how this goes on. That... okay. Okay, then I want that there, and I think I do want these to face downward. Okay, flip that over. There we go. Okay, so that goes on like that. And then we get it going on right here. So first we clip in the bottom. And then we clip on the top. There we go. So that's the first part. That is the underside right now. Charging up your portable console so you don't lose power when making the push for 48. Wise idea. Okay, there we go. I don't know why they started with these. It seems kind of odd, but okay. Not the one designing the instructions, that's for sure. He's charging his Mega Flare. Alright, how is this going to go on? Okay. That's what I thought. So I do want the mold mark up there. There we go. Okay, flip it over. You have to save energy for Mega Flare. It's very energy intensive. Understandably. It's understandably. Have you considered just doing like a Kilo Flare? Have you considered that? That might just be enough. Alright, where is the... There it is. The appropriate wedge. So we can give this ship a wedgie. Flip it over. Why would you use anything less than a Mega Flare? Well, because you might not need the full Mega Flare. What if you can make do with a Centiflare? Or a Milliflare? Shouldn't you consider saving energy? What if energy is finite? You can't use that much. And eventually you run out. It's Mega Flare or nothing? Okay, well don't come crying to me if you run out. I won't be here to bail you out with some free power. Okay, get that in there. There we go. So a nice angle here. I like that. Howdy, Shield of Hope. How's it going? U.S.S. Spider Prize. Yeah, it is kind of spidery. It is kind of spidery, isn't it? You will consume the entire universe worth of energy if you need to? Wow, that's pretty selfish. It's pretty selfish, Bahamut. I can't believe you. What about the rest of us? Don't you care? I thought you were supposed to be a just dragon god. So disappointing. Okay, get these tiles in there. You are just, you're using it to power the laptop of justice. Not sure if I can argue with that, actually. Without the laptop, you become like Tiamat? Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. I will definitely make note of this. No one left to commit crimes as justice. Are we into the non-existence is perfection situation? Is that where we are now? Flip it over. Non-existence is a state of perfection. Is it, though? Is it more perfect to exist or not to exist? That is the question. I mean, Lego is pretty perfect, and if Lego didn't exist, then the world would be a less perfect place. Ergo, existence is more perfect than non-existence. Howdy, Vigastry, how's it going? Okay, I think this is going to be the last of our panels for this bag. TB or not to be, that is the congestion. Does tuberculosis cause congestion? I was unaware. Of course, my favorite is to eat or not to eat. That is the question. Surely 'tis nobler to clean thy plate, to maketh room for more. If you know what that's from, you get a cookie. Okay, there we go. Flip it over. Move all these pieces over here now. You already had a cookie? You stole my cookie? Ugh. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. Bahamut is also stealing cookies. This is what comes of your so-called, your vaunted justice, apparently. You have no cookie and you want no cookie at this time? Well, at least you're honest about it. And you didn't try to steal a cookie from me. For that, I will give you no cookie, since you want no cookie. Congratulations, sir. You have earned it. Don't eat it all in one place, your non-existent cookie. Okay. We all have definitions of justice. Yours just happens to be different from mine. I mean, an evil person would say that. Alright, there we go. We got 2 panels on here now. Alright. Bag number 25. There are a total of 30 bags. You know you're evil, you're attempting to be good. Alright. I can respect that. Why would Donkey Kong Country say that? Donkey Kong Country is a place, not a person. How could he say that? I'm confused. Is Donkey Kong Country actually like Metroplex? The other DKC. Well, it can't be Daryl K. Sweet, because that's an S. No? No, pretty sure it has to be Donkey Kong Country. It's very weird. Dark Knight Cecil. Justice is not the only right in this world, huh? I definitely don't remember that, and I don't know that I believe it. Counselor Deanna Troy was often seen using her datapad personal access display device, a handheld computer interface that seems similar to our computer tablets now. The Star Trek franchise predicted several of our modern technologies in use today. Let's go ahead and zoom on in. No waffles! There we go. I love this hairpiece. This is one of my favorite hairpieces in recent years. And there is her datapad showing a... It's kind of hard to see, but a scan of a brick. Okay, let's go ahead and get her on right there. So there are 2 people remaining. Kind of surprised that we got Picard not at the end, honestly. Will she tell us incredibly obvious things about that brick? Yes. But only if someone like Commander Riker is there to ask. In fact, usually it's her being told the very obvious things about the bricks. Yeah, she can somehow sense hostility from another ship that has hundreds of people on board it, but she can only sense it through because they're on screen. Marina Sirtis was not a fan of her outfits. The sea green one was the worst one, according to her. Yeah, they were not great. I will say, like, one of the best things that Commander Jellicoe did was demand that she get into a regulation uniform, and then she was in it after that. Like, they used that as an opportunity to get her into the proper uniform, which, thank God. That was one of the bad things about Gene Roddenberry. I think the sea green one was a full suit with a skirt stitch on, which of course made going to the restroom a chore. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, I think the only big issue with the Jellicoe issue is that it kind of made Riker come off as a bit of a dick. When Jellicoe, like, did things differently, but was also right, you know? Like, it wasn't an incorrect way of doing things. Thought that was Berman's shtick. I mean, it might have been Berman's shtick too, but Gene Roddenberry was not exactly like not exactly the most progressive of men when it came to women. Let's say. All right. Bring this over. There we go. All right, next up. So we don't have a smooth line here. It's recessed slightly. Never got the sex appeal, really. Probably because you disliked Troy, the character, anyway. Well, it's more just having them not in a uniform kind of thing. No, she was not. But I think a lot of that was also the first season. Like, she definitely got better later in the series overall. No need to think beyond Pretty Lady on Bridge gets viewers, yeah. Is there like an encyclopedia that lists Lego pieces? Sort of. There are multiple sites out there that like have inventories of sets, and you can look at a set and see what parts it has. And generally, you can also look at the site and like just go into the part catalog and start browsing. Although there's a lot of parts now. If you want to get a feel for it, go to Bricklink and take a look at just like the catalog and look at the parts catalog. It's a lot. First season was all around rough. It happens with many shows. Yeah, there are some good episodes in it though. I mean, there was a writer's strike that happened, so they used some old scripts. They were feeling out the nature of the show. Yeah, that one is actually that was one of the old episode, one of the old scripts. I think it was a Phase 2 script. Especially the episode that shall not be named. Well, there's a couple. They had John Delancey, no season with him can be all bad. That's true. That's true. I'm not sure what episode you mean, Lord Canis, so you're gonna have to name it. Right, but they're specifically Phase 2 scripts because there was a writer's strike at the time. They wouldn't have used them if not for that. They would have gotten new scripts. Oh, that one! Yes, okay, yeah. That one was especially bad. That one fully felt like a original series episode. See, I'm bad at remembering episode titles, so I oftentimes need a brief description of the episode, or at least something significant from the episode. The Candle Ghost? Oh, you mean with Crusher? I don't actually think that one's bad. I think that one's actually pretty interesting because it's all about a character who didn't really get too many stories all about her. It's a little weird, but I don't actually think it's that bad. I think one of your favorite episodes of Next Generation was Masks. And there's a lot of really good ones. Even if none can be quite as good as The Visitor from DS9. You don't remember the names of episodes you did see mostly as a kid, and you've not nearly seen them all? Well, you should rectify that. Do a Star Trek binge watch. Remember, you think it was Ursula Le Guin talking about how she couldn't get into Next Generation until she saw the episode with Data's daughter? That was a good, yeah, that was a good one. Like, there's some really, really good episodes like that. Okay, get that in there. And that up there. It's going to be difficult to hold that thing when I get all of the panels on. There were a number of famous people who just like guest starred on Next Generation because they were famous and could pull it. Like Mick Fleetwood. Do you remember those aliens that they come aboard and they basically just like stand there asleep the whole time as they're taken somewhere? They're like fish aliens, and Worf looks at one and is like, handsome race. One of those guys is Mick Fleetwood from Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, but it's just hilarious that one of those is a famous musician who just wanted to be on Star Trek. And then you get someone like Iggy Pop who gets a rather large role in a DS9 episode. Imagine them comparing what they got to do on Star Trek. Yeah, I stood there like a statue. I had a whole episode where I was doing stuff in. All right. Let's go ahead and get this in here. There we go. All right, next bag number 26. And then, like, Kelsey Grammer and the woman who played Lilith on Cheers both getting into an episode because Cheers was, like, recorded in the next studio lot. That's true. Peter Weller was a villain on Enterprise. I think the final Enterprise episodes, like the series finale. I don't know what he had to do with in the J.J. Abrams ones, though. I've only seen the first one. Like the History Channel series hosted by Weller? Yeah, I think I don't know if he still is, but he was at least a guest researcher at a university. Or guest lecturer for a number of years. Dude's no slouch, that's for sure. Imagine having RoboCop teach you stuff that doesn't involve you dying. He was one of the bad guys in Into Darkness? Got it. Alright. Stupid bringing back Khan. That was so... That's like one of the reasons why I have zero interest in watching that. I don't care how good Cumberbatch is. Khan should not have been in that movie. Like, it's pure just, look what we did kind of thing. It's just like, screw that crap. You'd love to have RoboCop teach you history? I know, right? And it wouldn't just be RoboCop, it would also be Buckaroo Banzai. I could teach you all about the 8th dimension. I know they didn't, but, like, his ship was lost in space. They tried to do a rehash of The Wrath of Khan without the context of Space Seed. Yeah, it's basically just, hey, I saw The Wrath of Khan, and The Wrath of Khan is supposed to be the best Star Trek movie, and it was also the second Star Trek movie, so we should do Wrath of Khan again, because everyone will remember that and think it's really cool, right? Super duper awesome cool. We should do that. No. Do your own stuff, for crying out loud. You were saying that to complain. Fair enough. Okay, gotcha. I didn't pick up on that. We all know Final Frontier is the best movie simply for having God being shot in the face by a bird of prey. You loving the FF10 LP? Aw, thanks. I like how Kirk Shatner wanted to fight a rock monster in that, but they didn't actually, like, they couldn't for whatever reason. They got cut. So then they did that in Galaxy Quest. Oh, that's good stuff. Star Trek V was weirdly indulgent. Yes, yeah. But it did have David Warner in it. So, you know, it can't be all bad. As much as David Warner has done some absolute garbage over the years, he is still fantastic in everything he does. David Warner is in this garbage movie? Heck yeah, I'll watch it. You know, they know how to get a certain audience. 5 and 6, yes. The worst one, and one of the best. 6 is definitely the second best, in my opinion. Have I seen General Cord? I don't remember who played him. There we go. I can't remember what scene it was, but there was a scene in 5 that I had seen probably on television or something like that, and I couldn't remember what Star Trek movie it was from, and when I went like rewatching them, I was like, "What? It's so weird. I should see this scene. Why haven't I seen this scene?" And then I got to 5, and I was like, "Oh, it's in this one. I guess that explains why I hadn't seen it yet." While thinking that I should have, because I was expecting it to be in one of the better ones. I don't even remember what scene it is now, but... I just remember having that specific thought. Because I think when I rewatched it, I think I wasn't sure that I'd seen it before or something. I don't know. It was very weird. I wonder if they did name Nausicaans after Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind. Obviously, based off the spelling as opposed to the pronunciation. Lower Decks gives the Orions so much more love than they've received since the original series. Well, I mean, what creatures other than like Romulans and Klingons from the original series got any love at all? Basically none. So that's not exactly hard. Oh, is it actually an Odyssey reference? I haven't read that since I was a child, so... Heck if I remember anything from it. I should rewatch the Armand Assante TV miniseries. I liked that one. Well, yeah, I mean, they got them in... Okay, right. Enterprise did... The Gorn were in Enterprise as well. Sorry. I should have meant, like, post-original series timeline. That's kind of what I was getting at. Like, I think one of my biggest complaints about Next Generation and DS9 is just the complete lack of Andorians, Tellarites, and wasn't there another race? Because weren't there 4 races that made up the early Federation? Humans, Andorians, Tellarites, and someone else. Oh, duh, Vulcans. God. Yeah. Way to go, me. Way to go. Way to go. Of course, Vulcans. God damn me. Oh. Yes, Orions were the green-skinned ones. They didn't show up very much. They did get name-checked in DS9. The episode where Ezri Dax goes home and is dealing with home problems, essentially. The Orion Syndicate did get mentioned. They're in the background. You never actually get to see an Orion, but they're a major background element of that story, that episode. There were 5 founding worlds. Alpha Centauri was the 5th, but we know very little about their race. Oh. Clearly not, because I don't even remember anything about them. Like, in that they were even mentioned. Yeah, I was aware of that. That one. And again, like, but that was also a... Like, she was sleeping with, I use... Tan 2x3. I think I must have used one where I should have used one of these. Hold on. Yep. Alright, I have completely forgotten what I was saying now. Oh well. It's fine. Get that off. There we go. Fix that. Get that back on. But yeah, I was... Oh, what I was about to say is... Like... Kirk has a reputation of being a womanizer. But a lot of that is just, like... the nature of the era of television programming kind of thing. Okay, now... Did I get an extra one of these? Oh, right. Wait, no. Right. I was on the wrong section. Duh. Very discombobulated now. Kirk isn't always chasing tail, and he's also actually very by the book kind of thing. And that was not understood in the original series. And in fact, like, he was very much a, like, even more by the book as a young cadet and everything like that. We know the Gorness is one true love. The one that got away. Riker out Kirk's Kirk. Yes, very much so. There we go. Okay, next up, bag number 27. pour all those out. Toss that aside. Okay, so we have some large plates. Put those aside. There we go. Half tiles. There we go. All right. Let's see what we got. Okay. But yeah, it's stuff like that that made me not like the J.J. Abrams Trek. Now you're playing in your mind a supercut of Frakes stepping over chairs to sit in them. The Riker maneuver. I wonder whose idea that was. Jonathan Frakes, or like was that actually in the scripts? Or what, you know? Was it like the director? One of the directors at the time? But like, I mean, the director would have had to have approved it in the end. Because if the director didn't like it, then they would have said, no, do that take again. It was Frakes' idea for one of the greatest Trek things of all, Gowron's stare. I had a friend who had a cat that they fostered for a little bit, a little baby kitten. Like a stray that they fostered for a bit and then found a good home for. And the kitty had a similar stare, so they named him Gowron. Although I believe the family that eventually took them renamed the kitty, unfortunately. Fans know that the Picard maneuver was a momentary warp trick used by the USS Stargazer. Real fans know that the Picard maneuver was adjusting his uniform, yeah. Heard it was because of Frakes' back pain? Oh, I didn't even know that he had any back pain. Oh. Go ahead and snooze that ad. I just saw that it was about to run, and I had an available snooze. Costumes were pretty miserable. Yeah. But they were all super happy when they got the new costumes. You're watching the classic TV show channel. In the Heat of the Night was on. One of the actors had a body language that triggered all of the I know that person, and then the eyes. So now you know Gowron was also being shady in Louisiana. Don't you love it when, like, I was watching a 1978 TV movie the other day, and it was about a comet hitting the Earth. And I'm watching it, and I'm watching it, and I'm watching it, and then, like, a character has been on the screen a couple times. One of those characters that it's like their existence in the show has nothing to do with the actual comet itself. It's just, like, They're there to be the human drama when the time comes for the comet to hit, for the disaster to hit. And I'm like, they've been on screen a couple times, but one time I was like, wait a second, it's Michael Biehn. Or Bane, or however his name is pronounced. From Terminator and Aliens 2. He had a lot of hair. Frakes did some kind of heavy lifting job before acting. Ah, okay. No, not that guy. The other guy, Kinshir. The one who survives. Until the third movie. And they summarily murder him off camera. The one who is most definitely John Connor's dad? Yes. Off-camera death is so much cheaper. That's true. You're not wrong. It is literally so much cheaper. Not about to fall, are you, Pete? Saucer section? It's a very big saucer section. I love watching stuff like that and just having that revelation of, oh, this is so and so, this actor that I know from this other thing. Surprised we're not putting anything there to lock that in. You can imagine him returning to the future, reporting to his boss and saying, I think I might be your dad. Except he didn't get to return to the future. He died. There we go. I think it was always supposed to be a one-way trip anyway, even if he didn't die. I don't know that they had a return mechanism. He gets to skip the awkward conversation. Yeah, congratulations! You died and didn't have to tell your boss that you actually fathered him. Woohoo! Always look on the bright side of death. He'd have to live long enough to get back to see himself as a kid. That would be weird. And be some Seven Monkeys stuff. Is that it? Seven Monkeys? Is that the name of that movie that I'm thinking of? With Bruce Willis? "12 Monkeys." That's it. Thought it was a number. It's been a while since I've seen that one. I was like, it doesn't feel right. I know it's a number. Why is 7? Oh, because there was a movie 7, and that also had Brad Pitt in it. That's why. Okay. Glad I cleared that up, me. I don't care. I don't have to type it. You're the ones who have to type it. If you want to talk about it. You recognized Carol Kane in an episode of Gotham 2 years after watching The Princess Bride? Alright, there goes the ad. But it can affect pronunciation. We can call it S7N. It's true. Oh, 20 years after watching The Princess Bride. Was Carol Kane the Mad Max's wife? Is that who it was? Yeah, okay. I was watching a movie, I think it was The Last Island, about a plane crash, and the people there think that they may be the last people on Earth. And there's an old lady in it, and I was like, that's Medmorta from... No, is it Medmorta? It was the good witch lady from Willow, whose name I think I'm blanking on right now. It's like the other movie, 13 Ghosts. Okay. Get that on there. There we go. You have not watched Willow? You've never seen it? You have not. Wow. All right. Yes. Yes, you do. Willow is a very good fantasy movie. And Warwick Davis is very good in it. As are all of the Little People actors, actually. Like, it feels very much like a D&D halfling village. And it's got Billy Barty in it, too, you know. The kids are adorable, yeah. But it's definitely a good template for a D&D halfling village, I think. Okay, here we go. And our last angled segment right on there. Okay. We're obviously not done yet, but this is quite wide. Let me see. It's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, so 29. Yeah, I think I predicted that this was around 60 studs wide when someone asked me on a different Discord. All right, so spare parts. We have a gray 1x1 tile and a dark gray 1x1 cylinder tile with top peg. And bag number 28. I wonder if they did a collectible minifig series, if they would keep this headpiece for other Klingons. Alright, so we got some 6x6 tiles. Quite a few of them, actually. That is 7 of them. There we go. Okay, and there we go. All right, let's go ahead and make our Klingon security officer here. Give him this stoic expression. Too bad we don't have any Lego cylinders to represent the barrels, one of which fell on Worf once. That very clearly felt, that was very clearly empty, and yet broke his back. Oops. Oh, Worf is in a scene. When will the invading aliens arrive to kick his butt? Well, he's the toughest guy in the Enterprise, so he's got to keep getting beaten up to show how powerful the enemies are. There we go. We got his phaser. Alright, let's go ahead and zoom in on him. Really nice hairpiece and headpiece on him. And I like the simplicity of the phaser. Okay, and he gets to go right there. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, he's another character who kind of got the short end of the stick a lot of times. He really needed to be able to show how good he was and how wise he was in security matters, but they kind of needed... You know, it's kind of like you've got to show things to the audience, and one of those things is, like, these aliens are really bad. How do you show that? Well, you have Worf get beaten up, or you need to explain the technical things to the viewer. How do you do that? Oh, well, you have Riker ask a dumb question about it. You know? Or you need to have Picard show how wise he is with his command decisions, so you have Worf make a stupid security suggestion, like, we should just kill all of the enemies. Let's see, how is this going on? Okay, so that is the front. Good, alright. So that goes there, mold mark in. DS9 did much better by him? Yeah. Yeah, Worf needs to win some so people think he's tough. Unfortunately, so much of it is like, we've told you he's tough, so we don't need to show it. And it's like, no, actually, you do actually need to show it. And you need to make him, have him make good security decisions. Like, one of the few times he, it kind of sets it up as you think that maybe this is going to be one of the times where he makes a dumb decision and gets slapped down. What was it, like, I think the next phase, I think the episode where Geordi and Ro, get out of phase and intangible. And the Romulans need a computer core, and he's like, Captain, it's an Commander, it's an unacceptable risk. We can't let him have a computer core. And Riker actually, for once agrees with him and says, let's give him one from 50 years ago, because they'll already know about that one. And he's like, that's acceptable. And then he actually says thanks for that. Because so often he's not listened to. In part because oftentimes he makes, like, the writers have him make dumb suggestions. Okay. So I'll flip it over. Oh. I think I mirrored it. I think I may have jumped ahead. Hold on. Nope. Alright. No, I made this. This is correct. Alright, I'm confused. Okay, no, it does go there. Maybe I'm just confusing myself. It's entirely possible. There we go. Blame lack of sleep. That's true. I could do that, because I think I only got like 5 hours last night. You were wise beyond your years, Kinshu. Where Next Generation had Worf to show how tough the baddies were. DS9 brought Worf on because the baddies were too tough for them. Yeah. Yeah. Yet weirder with lack of sleep? Yes. Yes. As I do sometimes as well. Gowron needs a minifigure. I really do hope that they can make collectible minifig series. I really do. 3 per year, though, is, I feel like, not enough, though. Especially if they want to do more licensed stuff. Because I don't care about more Spider-Man or Marvel series kind of thing. I want actual minifigs. Luckily, we're getting 2 generics in a row, but I also want... I really want another D&D series. I don't know if the D&D license is persisting, though. I kind of figured that they would have made more D&D stuff by now, if that were the case. So I worry that we're not going to get more. Yeah, like, not having other sets come out, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell with Lego. So we could finally get a Minotaur minifig? We have one. I just haven't gotten to one yet. I haven't gotten to the one yet. I would like more, though. More would have to come through more generic sets, though. There we go. I mean, honestly, you can blame Harry Potter for not having enough Minotaurs. Like, that's what you should do. Just be like, Harry Potter should have had more Minotaurs so that we would have gotten Minotaurs. Yeah, right now I have 5 old minifig sets that we have not opened up yet. We haven't delved into them. So that is a fair bit of minifig time, but eventually I'm going to run out of minifigs to do. And I'll just be doing the new stuff. Which is, again, one reason why LEGO needs to make more minifig series. Real question is, where will Bahamut get any Leonin since Chima is long dead? You never know, Chima might come back. Or something similar. There was a rumor that the next, not the January set. The January set is costumes, but the May set, there was a rumor that it was going to be a reference set where it references old minifigs, because there are going to be 2 references to old minifigs. There's a Bionicle and a Ninjago one, but the rumor right now is that all the rest are generics. Standard generics. There we go. Get that in there. Oops. One by one tile. Okay. Yeah. That goes right there. So we have the impulse engine. There we go. Next up. I mean, they're making a big push for Pokemon next year, though. I think there's a 6,000 piece Pokemon set coming out. I think it's supposed to be sculptures of the 3 traditional starter Pokemon. There's a question, which will come first, Magic the Gathering and Lego, or Lego Magic the Gathering? I would say Lego Magic the Gathering, because I don't think that you're going to get Lego Magic the Gathering cards. I would be extremely surprised about that. Card kept telling you to engage, but never who to engage. Well, engage who you want. Like, who do you feel romantically inclined towards? Just declare your love. Get engaged. Okay, there we go. There we go. And for spare parts, we have an angle connector with stud and a 1x1 tile slope with a phaser print. So we can make another whole phaser. And in fact, I think I will. You know what I'm going to do with it? Actually. There we go. Phaser in there. For the away trip. You gave it to Ro? Exactly. A new Lego color, reddish-orange, is used here to imitate the glow of the impulse drive. Alright, bag number 29, and there is one more after this, so we are almost done. Yeah, I think the issue, Bahamut, is, like, what kind of, like, they want, if they make a set, they either want a play set or a display piece. The fact that a dice tower, like a functional dice tower, didn't get selected for the Lego Ideas D&D set makes me think that they wouldn't want something like a you know, a token set, something that you would use when playing Magic the Gathering. So I can't think of anything playset-wise that would really work for Magic the Gathering. And I can't really think of anything display-wise either. Now, I suppose one thing that they could do is Lego art, a Lego art set of various cards. That might be something that they could do. Like, Bahamut, would you be interested in a display piece that was like that you'd like hang on a wall or something like that? That was, you know, classic Magic the Gathering cards. Or would that be not of interest to you? Howdy, Minor Trader. How's it going? Depends on the art used. So it would probably be some classic stuff. famous classic stuff. Like Black Lotus or Moxes or something like that. Something famous like that. Magic the Gathering art Lego set of Johnny gets warped by the writers again. Well, yeah, no, I mean, I know what he wants. And I haven't been in the game for a very long time, so I don't know. Maybe there's more iconic stuff that they could turn into a display set that would actually be of interest to people, but Herloon Minotaur. You'd want a Lego display set of a Johnny or something related to a Johnny? Yes, yes. But if they had, like, a Black Lotus art piece that you'd hang on the wall, would you be interested in that, or would that be like, nah? If it's not a Johnny related, then you wouldn't be interested. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what they could do then. Like, because, again, like, if it's something that, you know, Magic the Gathering fans would be like, if this was of my favorite character or card, then I would totally get it. If it's not, then I don't want it. That makes it way too difficult to actually make something because there are so many different cards, kind of thing. Even if you could statistically say that, like, someone, you know, such and such character or card would be of interest to, you know, like the highest percentage of people, it still might only be like 20%. That being like the largest single group. Color symbols could be neat as Lego, yeah, that's true. But again, would it sell? That's the question. Oh, I missed that we're doing 2 of these. Well, shucks. Where are people buying Magic cards in the U.S. these days? You think people were being awful, so stores like Walmart and Target stopped selling? Game stores, and I mean, like, I have a local game store that is like 90% Magic at this point. They used to be, you know, and they still are RPGs in general, but I think they're like 90% Magic at this point. So it's certainly a lot of specialty stores. I mean, general stores probably aren't the best. But any place that knows the market and knows how to handle the buyers is going to probably do pretty well, considering that Magic is still very popular. Yeah, comic shops definitely do stock that kind of thing. Some hobby shops as well. One thing about a Magic the Gathering Lego set would be a scene from a story or something. Yeah, I don't know enough about what scenes or stories would be of interest. But again, like, if it was a scene from, you know, involving Urza, you've indicated that you wouldn't be interested. Do you think Bahamut, that that's a pretty typical sentiment, that people would only be interested in the characters that they're interested in? Or do you think you're kind of out of, like, a little bit out of the ordinary in that regard? Not as a bad thing, just as kind of a general. Alright, let's see. You think an Urza scene would be great? You're out of the ordinary? That's fair. Alright. Let's get this that way. And that goes on here. There we go. I think that's going to be a little bit iffy to connect eventually. This one over here. You're in a fringe orbit of you love a Johnny Goldman and a few other characters and races. Outside of that, it barely interests you. Can't LEGO just do Planeswalker minifigs? Well, it depends on the license. It depends on the potential license. And it depends on what would sell. So ultimately, that's the question. That's the kind of thing that I'm curious about. I mean, obviously, I don't have their market research. This is anecdotal stuff. But I mean, they haven't done more D&D stuff yet, either. But I don't know if the license is still in place. It is entirely possible that the license was fairly temporary. Now, LEGO does have an ongoing relationship with Hasbro because of the Transformers, and those are doing well. We got a Soundwave nearby to build one of these days. Starscream when? Starscream never. Unless they did his Cybertron form. Starscream and Megatron will never get made by LEGO. Need a LEGO Grimlock? Grimlock they could do. Grimlock they could definitely do. So the reason they wouldn't do a Starscream or Megatron is because they don't do modern military and firearms. And Starscream is an F-15. Has LEGO done Final Fantasy minifigs and themes? No. That is yet another license that they definitely do not currently have. Alright. I'm curious. Yep, I did miss that. Devastator they could do, because they're just construction vehicles. So that's why Soundwave was the first one that the first Decepticon that they did, because he's just a boombox, a little radio. But Starscream and the other, Thundercracker and stuff, they wouldn't do. They could do Astro Train. The F-15 is modern enough, yes. Absolutely. Like, they won't do a World War I tank, because that's too modern. And yeah, they still use F-15s. Like, biplanes they will do, but jets, fighter jets, no. World War II jets, no. That's all, like, right out. So no modern fighter jets. No tanks either, so they wouldn't do Blitzwing. Actually, that is true. One of the Indiana Jones sets did have a World War I Nazi fighter plane. That is true. I think that was that is basically an exception, though. And given that it was a, like a thing from the movie. I doubt Predaking is popular enough to get a Lego form. And the Constructicons, I think, would probably be kind of difficult to do as well. To do well. And stable, and have them transform basically two ways. Alright. They've done, they've done SOP with camels. And they did the triplane, the Red Baron's triplane. Like, that's all considered old enough. They've actually done a couple SOP with camels. I'm actually going to pop these off because I think it's a little bit easier to get it on this way. But yeah, I mean that's a World War I biplane, so very much not modern military stuff. But even if they were gonna be doing more Indiana Jones sets, which I think they're now done with that, you're never gonna get like the tank battle from Last Crusade, because that tank is too modern. Alright, there we go. Okay. It's very oval. And Bag number 30. I don't think they will make an exception for Starscream. I really, really don't. Once they make that exception, I don't think, like, they can argue that they aren't violating their rules with all the things that they're making right now, or they've made recently. But I think if they did Starscream, that would be it would basically be impossible to keep up the pretense. Yay, Guinan, indeed, with a new hat, dual molded, of course. Guinan, the ship's enigmatic bartender, is always ready to lend an ear, share nuggets of wisdom, and serve a little something green to thirsty off-duty crew members. Guinan's hat and hair element is also brand new for this set. Let's go ahead and make her smile. There we go. And get her bottle of green stuff. Lego Metroplex, Trypticon, and Omega Supreme. I doubt any of those. Alright, let's go ahead and zoom in. There we go. Nice printing on the torso as well. Very cool dual molded hat. It's a great hat. Carrying a drink by the straw. Oh, yeah. It's actually the neck of the bottle. Nice homage to the TOS episode. Yeah, but that drink had a square bottle, though. There we go. Actually, to even it out, then that looks like that's kind of in the way, though. Because we got 3 spaces here for Spot, so we need 3 spaces here. All right. The foremost windows indicate the location of 10 Forward, the ship's bar and recreational meeting place. These are, holy cow, these are really long curved slopes. Oh, the episode was a nice homage to a TOS episode. Yeah, that's a good point. I thought you meant the Lego thing. Okay. There we go. Just need some of those without printing? Yeah. Makes you wonder what they're normally used for? They're actually new. I think both of these might be new. I'm not sure what other angles they match. Well, as long as it's not green because it's pickled, Bahamut. That's the important thing. If you're trying to, look at that in a bit. If you're trying to get me to, eat some pickled stuff. Ugh. Monster. Not pickled. Good. Good. Because that would be terrible. Say no to pickles. Okay. So, get that there. Get that there. It's a lot of 1x1s. Okay, 2 of these. We want the slopes. Why would you do that, Bahamut? It's so mean. Imagine trying to get away with billing your significant... your... not significant other, your SO. I'm not sure what SO you mean. You do mean significant other. Okay. I'm confused. I need more pickles in my diet? I definitely do not need any pickles in my diet whatsoever. No one needs pickles in their diet. Pickles help you live longer. No, no, definitely not. Definitely not. Okay, so... that gets on here. And that one gets on here. Okay. One by twos. Almost horse bricks. I'm gonna hold off on that for the moment, though. 2, 3. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So fired, Duke Darkwood. So fired. Pickle needs me, huh, Kinshir? Well, that's actually good. Because Pickle ain't getting anything of me. It can need all it wants. Because it ain't getting any of me. I'm going to hire you and then fire you again, Duke Darkwood, just for that one. No, no, I'm not paying him. Not with money. I'm paying him with with hams. Look at all that. Look at all the hams. See? Gets so many hams. See, there you go. Paid in full with hams. Okay, so there's all 8 of those. Now we get 8 of these. They're most definitely not pickled hams. That would ruin the fine, delicious brown sugar glaze flavor of the hams. Ruin them. Completely destroy it. Replace good with evil. I can't believe how many of you guys like evil. Jeez. It's terrible. Okay, next. On the original filming models used for seasons 1 and 2, most windows on the rim are dark because they were too difficult to light electronically. Okay, so, first of all, right in there. There we go. You're the ones who use the pickle emotes. I put that there as a temptation. Those who use that earn horse's ire. He knows who you are. Okay. So, now that we're done with that, we get the silver bar holder with clip. Get that on there. Bring that around there. Okay, and then we do another one on the other side. It's kind of amazing how much usage they get out of this flex tubing. Alright, and then we pull out the 2 that we got in the loose in the box. You have an ad just about to start. It's very egg-shaped. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and put that aside for the moment. Because we have a little placard to do. So, USS Enterprise, Class Galaxy, Starfleet registration, NCC-1701-D, launch date 40759.5, construction, Utopia Planitia Fleet Yards, Mars. There we go. Spare part, we have one flex tube in silver, rather short. So we have a little placard for display. Still don't see any phaser strips. I believe it is those two orange spots right there. There we go. Alright, let me get this off the stand, because that might actually be better for showing it off. Although, it is really front heavy. That is really front heavy. That does not rest like this. It just boop, drops down. There we go. Now I've got my gun. See? Pew pew, pew pew. Oh, that's right. They had the like all around the edges. I think it was just a case of not being able to get that on there, kind of thing. But it is very cool. Very big. And I'm going to get it back onto the stand. How whooshable is the final model? Not too bad if you hold it with two hands. It's not too bad if you hold it with two hands. Alright, let's see. Uh-oh. I knocked something off. I think the flexible tube pieces are the phaser array. That could be it, actually, yeah. Alright, hold on. Let's flip it over. I knocked something. Oh, alright. I knocked the shield off. There we go. It goes in deeper. Definitely goes in deeper. What is going on there? There we go. It is, yeah, it is pretty heavy. It is actually pretty heavy. I'm trying to flip it without losing the base. Oh. I was trying to flip it without losing the base. And I lost the shield again. Okay, there we go. All right. Where is... Yep. Yeah, that shield likes to come out. All right. pull that out a little bit so it's flush. There we go. All right, got the shield in. All right, it is very, very big. What do they call the bottom of an open deck ship? The hull? There we go. Oh. Did I just turn it off? No, I don't think so. Come back. There we go. Okay. We can see a little bit there. Oh boy! All right, ads are running, so I'm gonna wait just a minute before we do the our advent calendar for Minecraft. It is a very big ship. I hope they do some MIDI scale ones because I think those would sell really well. Can't put the minifigs in, no. Like there's no space to put minifigs in. Like the saucer section is too thin, really. Like the saucer section is just too thin to do something like that. You know, if it were thicker, maybe, but all right, let's see. What was the most number of any individual piece in here? Let's see. It's probably going to be something gray. Probably going to be something gray. Something small as well. $43 tan 1x1 plates, but I believe, yeah, 64 beige 1x2s beats that, so let's see what else. Yeah, it's got to be something in the grays. I'm just curious. I haven't hit anything in too large quantities yet, actually. It's kind of surprising. Like, doing a set of this size and generally getting big variety. There are 19 of the 3x6 wedge plates? That's not... Okay, no, there's 19 of both. Alright, never mind. Never mind. Good. Thought there were going to be an odd number. That would have been bad. All right, 60 1x2 plates with bars, but there were 64 of the beige 1x2s, so nope. Haven't found one to surpass the others yet. Kind of surprising. We're getting into bigger pieces here. Yeah, I think it's going to be those beige 1x2s. Close, 56 gray 1x6s. 55 gray 2x6 tiles. How many 2x4s? 59. Yeah, just not quite hitting those the number for that beige 1x2. It did use a lot there at the end, so it makes some sense. Alright. I don't think there's going to be anything in the dark gray. Nah. Alright. Yeah, pretty impressive. Good part selection, though. Better variety than the Eiffel Tower? Yes. Yes. Although, I mean, dark gray is good. There was a lot of dark gray in the Eiffel Tower. Alright. So, we want to start with, what was it? 13. Yeah. Alright, where's 13? Right up here. Lucky number 13. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. A golem of some sort. It's obviously a part of Minecraft that I haven't really gotten to. You'd love a bridge playset, but they would have to give multiple duplicate minifigs if they did it. Well, it depends. I mean, like, they wouldn't have to do Guinan, they wouldn't have to do Wesley. They wouldn't have to do Geordie. They wouldn't have to do Beverly Crusher. Basically, it's Data, Worf, Riker, and Picard, and then some generics. Is it a Warden? Yeah, I have not seen a Warden, so I don't know. I will take your words for it. They could give us uniformed Troy, yeah. Yeah, that would be a way to differentiate it. And there'd be at least one red shirt at a helm kind of thing. If not two. And they could even do something like have a Ferengi on one. Just because of there was an episode where there was a Ferengi on one at the helm or one of those two front consoles. But I don't know, like a playset. So the question is always going to be: are they, would they be aiming it at an 18 plus, or would they be aiming it at a younger audience? There we go. And I don't know that there's a younger audience for Star Trek right now. Star Trek Lego. Alright, 1x1 tiles in beige, teal, and dark blue. And a 1x1 tile slope in beige. It was an illusory Romulan plot, or a lonely bug alien plot. It was a lonely gray alien plot. That's what it was. Alright, so that was 13. Now let's go to 14 right over here. Okay, we have a torch on a block of something. I'm not sure exactly what that's supposed to be. And I think what's supposed to be a lectern. And Riker invited it onto the ship, so of course we never saw it again. Well, I mean, it probably went to a starbase to be looked after by professionals capable of, you know, interacting with an alien that we'd never met before, because he's gonna be like the only one of his kind at that point. But I liked that episode. I mean, the costume for that alien was not the best, but you only see it briefly, and it's like, okay, whatever, kind of thing. You know, it's fine. But I liked how, you know, it's a very Star Trek episode, you know? You tricked me, you put me through, you know, some things that were extremely uncomfortable and arguably torture, but you're a kid and you just wanted a friend, and so we forgive you and invite you to us. You love the rank communicator pins? Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, I really liked that Mary McCormick showed up again, because who doesn't want to see more Mary McCormick? Pretty sure there were other episodes that... I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah, it was Minuet's actress, yeah. Mary McCormick. Better known as Dr. Olivet on Law & Order. But I mean, like, LEGO could still put a Ferengi on the Enterprise bridge as a reference to that episode, and I could definitely see them do that. Alright, so, spare parts. We got a nougat angle bar with stud, and 1x1 plates in black, red, white, green, trans yellow, and trans orange. It's a lot of extra pieces. So I think this is supposed to be a lectern. And I'm not sure exactly. I guess maybe a bookshelf. This might be... it's probably supposed to be a bookshelf. Alright, 14 and 15. Down here. Okay, we're making a polar bear. Could also put a Cardassian on the bridge to reference the reality hopping episode with Worf. Yeah, I mean, that would depend a lot on, like, how many new parts they want to make. Or what new parts do they have for other sets. I do think sometimes LEGO designers will do a thing where, like, they will put in a new part, and then it'll be like, well, we got this new part. We could make this other set. So we got a polar bear. Look at that cute little polar bear. It's totally here to rip you apart. Alright, 15 and 16. We're not going to do 17. We're going to do that on Friday. But here is 16. Okay, this is going to be a microfigure portal. Micro-scale portal. I don't hate the Nether. I just think that it's generally not very fun. And when you can't predict where your thing is going to open and whether you're actually going to have a decent spot there, like, if I can't have a decent spot that my portal opens up to, the one that I've put in my town, then I don't want to go someplace else to get a better spot. Yes, we're going to do a minifig in a moment. Alright, so here we have a portal with a sparkly purple, trans-purple portal, and a microfigure zombie villager. Or just a zombie, actually. Probably just a zombie. Regular zombie. Alright, so spare parts. We got a green 1x1 plate with a zombie print. 1x1 tiles in green and orange. And a dark azure 1x1 plate. Alright. So, those are the 4 that we have opened up this time. Let's go ahead and put them back in. Warden back in there. And the lectern and bookshelf back in there. Alright. So, on Friday, we will open up... Let's see. Alright, Friday we will open up 17, 18, and 19. Then on Christmas Eve, the 24th, we will open up 20, 21, 22, and 23. And then on the 26th, we'll open up 24 and 25. Okay. So, let's go ahead and get our lone minifig for the night going. Oh, it might actually only have a 24. That's a good point. That's a good point. It would only have a 24, wouldn't it? Yeah. All right. So Christmas Eve we'll open up the 24 then, and then the day after Christmas we will do. We'll be back to normal minifigs. Good call. Thank you. I would have realized. All right, Not a Rogue AI, have a good rest of your night. Thank you very much for coming on out. And we'll get that to 9. But let's see what we are drawing tonight. What kind of Advent calendar includes Christmas Day? I don't know Advent. I really don't. That was never a thing. Like, the only Advent calendars I've ever opened are Lego Advent calendars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Alright, so D20. 17, re-roll. 13. Alright, second to last. Okay. Alright, start a prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? Get your predictions in. Alright. So Not a Rogue AI had 9. That would be the Carpenter. 5 for Bahamut. That would be the Goblin Raider. Go ahead and roll. That's a 17. Need a re-roll. 15. That is a Lady Cyclops. If they made one in a theme you wanted one in, you'd score one, but the only Advent calendars you get have chocolate in them. Some of them are pretty good. I think the city ones tend to be the best because they have generic minifigs. So that's why I tend to like the city ones. But for me, it really depends on what the accessories are in it and the other parts. If the... if it mostly has kind of normal pieces and, like, just, Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus kind of thing, I want some special pieces. And if I don't get special pieces, I won't go out of my way. I mean, I might get them if they're on sale. Obviously, if someone gives me one like this one, more than happy to take that. The nice thing about the Minecraft one is that it has a lot of actually basic pieces in it, and we've gotten a ton of extra pieces already. Like at least 15 extra pieces just from this advent calendar alone. It's pretty good. All right, so a lean-in security ensign and a random gold shirt security officer. But yeah, I mean, like, they can be hit or miss. I have, like, no interest in Star Wars or Marvel, Spider-Man, that kind of thing. Friends, I'm interested in, but again, it depends on the accessories. All right, so predictions are closed. Let me go ahead and get my timer out. Did forget to do that. Like, some years they've been really good, and other years they've been meh. All right, and go. All right, let's see. What do we got? What do we got? I felt a head. I have a beard, I think. Okay. Ooh, 27 exactly. We have a happy king. We have another happy king. Yes, we do. Excellent. All right. Choose the outcome. That is 20 to 50 seconds. Complete that prediction. Who is getting the hams? Let's take a look. Anytime you want to load it up, Twitch. All right, Lord Canis and Kinshir getting all the hams. Basically tripling your ham count. Very nice. Bahamut going for within 20 seconds. Shield of Hope going for 50 to 60. And no one going for no. No one going for no. All right, let's go ahead and put our Happy King together. Okay, get that on there. All right, Bahamut, have a good rest of your night. Go ahead and get the head and beard on. And then... Okay, is that... Let me at least get the head started on. It's not actually centered. Put the arms down, that'll help. There we go. All right, I think that's centered now. There we go. Get his crown on. Give him his sword. Cape of Authority, yes. With the white fur fringe at the top. There we go. And I like that they brought this headpiece back, even though it's not dual molded, for the 3-in-1 creator set this year. I like that they gave the fur collar of the cape a separate piece. I think I would like it better if it wasn't. I would like it better if it was just, you know, the same piece kind of thing. But just because they're more annoying to put on. But yes, it is nice to have a separate piece. You could do one person with a red cape and one person with just the collar or something like that. But it's a good minifig. It's a really nice minifig. And yeah, you can put it on other capes, too. That is nice. I'm thinking more just from the perspective of, do I want to put this together? There we go. All right, so that is our third Happy King. Ready to talk about Mr. B Natural? We'll go ahead and leave him there. Go ahead and get our Star Trek minifigs here as well. And that is going to wrap us up for tonight. The Enterprise set is very, very good. I highly recommend it if you are into Star Trek and you have the space for it. Remember when a cape was a short piece of plastic with a little curl at the bottom? I do, and I miss those. They should bring them back. Because they also used it as a leather apron. So we will be back on Friday. We're going to do a one-off build of something. I don't know what yet. Might be multiple small things. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I'll have to look. Then we'll be back on Saturday for some more Spelljammer. We'll be back on Monday for more Dragon Quest II. And next Wednesday, I will probably be streaming again, but I may not. It depends on what's going on. I'm not sure yet. I will. So stay tuned. Make sure that you got your alerts going and everything like that. And I'll see. Hopefully I'll know before Wednesday itself, though. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming on out, and I shall see you next time. See you then, everyone.